I'm Eliana Connie.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shirley.
Hi, I'm Jennifer.
I'm Alan.
Hi, I'm Eric.
And I'm Drees.
And this is
Our Point of View.
Welcome, welcome, welcome back. We're so glad you decided to join us today. We have some very special guests. Our executive producer, Jackie, is not here with us right now, so I have the pleasure of filling her seat, not her shoes, because I can't do that, but I am sitting in her seat today. We have with us today a very good friend of mine, Dr. Shirley MacArthur Williams, and she's going to be sharing with us today about self-preservation, among other things. So welcome, Dr. Shirley.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you here today. So how was everybody's week?
Everybody's good.
It's pretty
That's
good.
cool.
All is well?
All is well.
Jen celebrated what, 25? How old was it? No,
25
Jen,
years old.
tell the people the truth.
25 years old. That's neither here nor there, but I'm blessed to see another year. My birthday was on December 6th.
Age, you're beautiful though. No, I mean, you're gorgeous, honey, so the people need to really know.
Okay.
It's the anniversary.
She's 37, everybody.
So
Does
it's, it's the 12th anniversary of her 25th birthday.
Good. Nice. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So she's celebrating a birthday. She celebrated a birthday, so we want to say happy birthday. You're beautiful at 37, honey.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, we celebrate you. Happy birthday.
I agree.
And anybody else have any celebrating marriage, divorces? Amen. Hallelujah.
Not yet.
Anniversary.
Anniversaries?
What's
You?
I did.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, how many years?
4.
4 years. Newlywed. Yay.
Hey.
All right. Congratulations. Alan's a newlywed too.
Yes, I am.
How long you been married?
July 16, 2016.
So now Alan's
Almost 2 years.
almost
Oh,
2
okay.
years.
Wow. Get over the house. That's all right.
That's right.
Listen, when we celebrate marriages at this point, you got to celebrate 6 months.
Right.
Yeah.
I just celebrate a year. We celebrate the milestones because when you're making, if you're making 6 months, you're doing good.
That's right.
Yeah.
Making a year, you're doing good. So we celebrate those of you who are celebrating anniversaries, divorces. My girlfriend's got a divorce. Woo woo! All right, we waiting to exhale. We're gonna celebrate when I get back. Right. Happy anniversary, happy divorce, happy birthday, all those wonderful, wonderful things we want to say to those of you who are out there who are celebrating any kind of special occasion. The guests and us from our point of view want to say we celebrate you. So we're gonna jump right in. And we're going to have a conversation about self-preservation when Dr. Shirley gets back. But before we jump to that, Jen, let's talk about your self-preservation for a minute because you're 37 and you look good. Tell the people what you've done.
Thank you. Just, good soap and cocoa butter. I mean, little Ambi soap and some cocoa butter.
With some water.
Try to drink more water.
Plenty of water. And it's funny, there was I saw a clip with Oprah and an older lady. The lady was, I think she was 97.
Oh.
And she looked wonderful. She was moving. And Oprah said, tell all the women your secret. How you stay so beautiful and so vibrant and you're 97 years old. And she said, I drink a lot of cold water and I wash my face in cold water.
Keep those pores tight.
Cold water going, baby. Oh.
All right.
But it's been a very interesting week. I myself had a wonderful week myself. We are enjoying just being alive, just grateful for another opportunity. We're in the holiday season, and so we want to say to everybody that we hope you're having a wonderful and very prosperous and productive holiday season. Pray for everybody, keep everybody encouraged, and pick up the phone and call somebody who you haven't talked to in a long time.
Right.
That's what we want you to do during this holiday season. It's not about the money, it's not about the giving, but if you can just pick up the phone and tell somebody that you love them, sometimes that's all that people need. But we're gonna come right back. Don't you go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. Don't click. Don't listen. Don't move. Don't move. We coming right back with our guest, Dr. Shirley MacArthur Williams, right here on Our Point of View. We'll be right back.
And so, the youngest is 10, committing adult crime. So where are we as adults nurturing our young?
In every second, you prove someone wrong or right. The fans, the city, or yourself. Every second is a moment you'll never have again. What will you do with yours? Will you take control and deliver on your promise? Or forego your fate and leave it to chance? Every second you waste is a second closer to second.
There's a place where folks still play with fire. The common ground between backyard barbecue heroes and professional chefs. This is where friendships are forged, fire and flavor come together, and new techniques are perfected. Here in Big Green Egg Country, cooking is still treated as an art form. And since the most versatile grill you'll ever own comes with a lifetime warranty, you'll always have the ultimate cooking experience. Locate a dealer at biggreenegg.com.
Tracks of the day. Scorching heat today, folks. Stay cool out there. Next up, we've got
Walter!
Stop suffering with hot AC. Cool it yourself with AC Pro. Just connect the hose, squeeze the trigger, and check the gauge. With 2 times the cooling boosters, enjoy the comfort of the #1 selling coldest air. Nothing cools like AC Pro.
And hello, everybody. We are back. We are back today with Dr. Shirley Williams. I'm going to cut it short and say Dr. Shirley Williams. She's newly married, so we're going to carry that married name, right? We are back with Dr. Shirley Williams, and we want her to just tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a little bit of history.
A little history. I'm from the DMV, which is D.C.,
Okay.
Maryland, and Virginia. Actually, inside D.C., so not outside. I grew up in Northwest, graduated from Cardozo High School. From there, went into the military, United States Air Force. Woohoo.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I am a registered nurse practitioner as well as an educator. So I'm currently teaching at one of the local universities here in Atlanta, Georgia, and still working as a nurse practitioner. But, and I just got married, as I told you before, 4 years.
Yes.
4 years. Happily married.
Happily
Thank
married.
you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
He fine too, y'all. She got her good look. I'm just saying.
Goodness.
We love you, Brother Williams.
The reason for the name Shirley MacArthur Williams, his mother's name is Shirley Ann Williams,
Oh.
and my name is Shirley Ann Williams.
Wow.
Really? Wow.
So that's why you have to put the MacArthur in there to
I do
distinguish
for right
the
now.
two.
Yes, I do.
Because
for
Mother
right
Williams
now.
is the Mother
Williams
Williams.
said that
And
it's
only
our
one
short
she let
queen.
you know. Come on, somebody.
There's only
Only one queen, Mother
yes.
Williams.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
So you have children?
I do. We have together, we have 5. And both sons, his oldest and my oldest son, passed away. His son recently passed away October, and my son passed away almost 7 years ago.
Wow.
So difficult time, and that's why I came on to talk about self-preservation and what we should be doing, not just in the holiday season, but how do we self-preserve? It's a natural instinct. It's like a survival. But what do we do during this time? How do we preserve our mind? How do we preserve our bodies? How do we preserve our spirit? We can't get lost into the shuffle and hustle and bustle of buying and spending when we know that self-preservation is how do we take care of ourselves? How do you look good? My dad put fear in me and forbid me not to wear makeup ever in life. So I don't wear makeup. So I'm
Well,
not.
you look beautiful today.
I'm not gonna tell you my age, but
Your makeup looks gorgeous, Daddy. We sorry, but she look beautiful today.
but then in preserving your body, you have to preserve your mind. You really have to preserve your mind. And what do? You stimulate your mind. Education, reading. How many of us read? Reading for leisure, reading for education. Just reading so that you can get different things out of your mind that might be discombobulating your thoughts, and you want to stay focused. Stay focused into the here and now, because there's a large percentage of individuals who are clinically depressed, and they walk around clinically depressed, and then they turn to alcohol, they turn to recreational drugs, prescription drugs, anything that will take the edge off of whatever they may be going through, whatever threat that they may feel to their bodies, to their mind, to their spiritual well-being. They will try and seek other sources. Unfortunately, we have people that are on the street because they tend to engage either in criminal activities. We have women who use their body as a form of pleasure because they don't know how to do anything else different. So many of our penal systems are filled with men, women, and children. And I used to do juvenile corrections as a nurse practitioner. The youngest is 10. And so, the youngest is 10 committing adult crime. So where are we as adults nurturing our youngs, nurturing ourselves? So if we don't have self-preservation, how can we teach others to self-preserve? How can we teach our children, our nieces, nephews, grandchildren? I mean, what do we do? What do we do? We take care of ourselves. But we need to, at this particular time, we need to have a focus. We need to be direct and identify that, hey, I'm losing myself. And how do I preserve? How do I preserve what's naturally me?
I have a question for you. Dealing with your situation, the loss of a child, given that you've taken this, and I would have to assume and say that this is a journey, what were the first set of steps that you did? Because I see the 3 steps as mind, body, spirit that you actually are taking the approach with. So what was the first set of steps that you did as far as dealing with your particular situation?
Before I stopped screaming?
Well, I mean, was that part, and that's a good question. Was that part of it? That's what, because a lot of times when I talk with people who are grieving, I tell them that you need to go through the full gamut of the grieving process. So if you feel like you want to scream, you feel like you want to cry, you feel like you want to fall out, you need to do it. Okay.
Well, the grieving process, Kubler-Ross just came up with the steps of the grieving process. What individuals don't realize is that it doesn't follow a natural course. The anger, the denial, the depression, it's a roller coaster. Initially it was denial. This cannot be true. And then you have the anger. And then it's displaced anger a lot of times because depending on what happened, how it happened, 20 years old is too young, 39, you say is too young. But initially what I did, I knew the spirit was preserved. I knew my spirit was preserved. My mind wasn't. My body wasn't. I went from a size 10 to a size 4. Yeah.
Wow.
And so that's when I realized we have to preserve ourselves, because going from a 10 to a 4 meant that I neglected one of those 3. The spirit was intact, and that's what really kept me going. And I did not give myself permission to grieve. That was a threat to my body, and we need to acknowledge that's a threat. That's real. That's something that a natural occurrence, and you need to give yourself permission to accept that.
Yeah, and I think the other side of that is like some people lose weight when they're grieving, and a lot of people gain weight when they're grieving. So I know for me, when I went through a very traumatic portion in my life, I was down to like a size 6'2". It was horrible. But like you said, at the time, you're not even really caring about yourself. All you thinking about is your pain. You know what I mean? Your experience and what you're going through, what you're dealing with. And so eating is not a priority. You know what I mean? Drinking water is not a priority because I'm depressed. I'm down. I'm trying to act like everything is wonderful, and I'm going through the worst possible situation I could possibly go through in my life. So I'm trying to wear this mask of everything is wonderful, you know what I mean? And all is well, and my family's beautiful, but on the inside, you're literally dying.
Correct.
But we don't realize that we're literally dying, like physically, until you look in the mirror and you take all your clothes off and you like, oh, well, you're going to be all right because right now I'm in this process.
Correct.
You know?
Correct. Then the answer to your question, it was different phases that I went through, different phases that I went through, and understanding that different individuals grieve differently. So what happens to you won't necessarily happen to me. Right. And it was different individuals saying, well, you're going to go through this, you're going to go through that. But the key thing here today is to preserve your body, to preserve your mind and spirit, and all three are conjoined together. So you don't separate either one of them.
And with that, we're going to take a moment to pause, and we're going to come right back and have some more conversation with our special guest, Dr. Shirley Williams. MacArthur, Mother, we love you, Queen. Mother Williams, we love you. Dr. Shirley MacArthur Williams. We'll be right back.
I heard a very intelligent person say one time, he said, when you're in a state of dis-ease, if you don't take care of that dis-easement, it's going to birth disease.
Right.
Shakeem, get in here. Take your razor, yep. All right, up and down, never side to side, Shakeem, you got it? Come on, get back. Keem, we're second behind your brother, stay focused. Can't nobody beat you, Hard work, baby, gonna pay off. You got this.
With the 141st pick, the Seattle Seahawks select.
All right, you got it, Shakeem. All right, let me see.
I'm always on the move, nurturing what matters most, chasing the next deal, and creating opportunities for others. But we all need help in reaching our dreams, allowing us to be the best in what we do. We need support to keep believing in ourselves and stay positive through tough and rainy days. Even great businesses and leaders rely on support to propel them to the next level. I take pride in achieving my goals, supporting others with the support I receive. Black Umbrellas, developing Africa's future black businesses together.
You know, ABFF represents the very core of what has always sustained us as a people, community.
This is such a crucial space where we can see ourselves
and feel represented.
A film festival that said, you are enough.
This is where I started, where Ryan Coogler started.
The first major festival to have my work online.
Thank you for celebrating our art.
I feel the love.
And welcome back to Our Point of View. We are here with our special guest, Dr. Williams. She's talking to us about mind, body, and spirit, and the importance of taking care of all three. Dr. Williams, you want to continue to enlighten us about this topic?
Self-preservation. We were talking about self-preservation. We tend not to get support when we feel like we're at a threat. A major divorce, losing a job. Those are threat to our self-preservation. We tend not to seek support. We want to, hold it inside, or we walk around, like you said, with a mask on, and individuals never know exactly what you've gone through. But you need to be assertive in what you're doing, not angry, not that you're going to come across that you can't touch me, but be assertive in saying, this is my body. Give yourself permission and make self a priority. Make self a priority. And taking care of yourself, the beautiful skin. I don't like shopping. I really don't. And no, I don't like shopping. You like shopping? No.
What kind of shopping? Grocery shopping?
No.
Clothes shopping? Shoe shopping?
I like shopping. Gotta shop after I leave here. Don't want to go shopping.
My pet peeve is house shopping. I love to buy linen. I have like 10 pillows on one bed, 20. I change the drapes every month. I change the... So right. Some of my husband, what are your story?
Where's money?
It's self-preservation. For me, it's not clothes and jewelry, but I get lost in the ambience of just what would be nice in a house.
So you like shopping? It's just you don't like shopping for clothes and purses and stuff, but
correct.
But shopping for that's still the same,
Or I'll go to Home Depot, or I'll go to Lowe's, and I'll walk in the home section and look at tools. But make self a priority regardless of what it is. If you're walking, there's a stress hormone that really causes heart attacks for men and women. It causes strokes. It aggravates different medical conditions, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's syndrome. That stress hormone resides in our bodies, and we don't pay attention to it. It gives us many signals, but we tend not to pay attention to it until a disastrous threat that attacks our body, our mind, and our spirit, and then we pay attention to it.
Well, how do we know when we have that stress hormone? Like, what's the indicator? Like, where is it?
It resides in your body. It's stress hormone.
Well, what is some of it?
Right.
It's released by your brain. It's released by your brain. That's why you need to be in tune to you, to your body. Yes.
For me, I tend to go on an eating binge for some reason, and then after I eat, and I realize, oh, I'm stressing. So some people go on drinking binges, but I eat a lot, so that's how I can.
They take recreational drugs or whatever.
Well, now it's legal.
I guess so. When you
Right. It's called Cabana. What's it called? Cannabis.
Oh my.
Cannabis. They done gave it a special name. I say it's weed.
A famous
people say you old school with that weed. What the young people call it? Reefer. The young people call it now.
It used to be pot.
It used to be pot, right? Pot or reefer.
420.
Weed.
420.
But what the kids say now? They say blunts.
No, blunts is what you hold it in.
Okay.
Perp.
Well, I don't know what the kids call it.
I just told you.
They say I'm gonna light up a tree.
They call it loud.
Whatever it is,
Smoking that loud.
it's going from generation to
Right,
generation to generation.
Right.
Oh my
But
God.
Dr. Williams, I actually want to go back to something we were talking about before we went to break. You were discussing the passing of your son and the impact that it had on you. Now, can you tell us a little bit about how it affected your children, your other children? And actually, we're gonna take. We'll go. We have some time. So, can you just tell us a little bit about how your oldest son's passing affected your other children?
I have 2 girls, and it was devastating to them, but for me, I blocked them out. I didn't see them. I didn't see my mom. I didn't see anybody. It was like I had blinders on, and it was me trying to survive. And one day I was just curled up and talking to my son. I just want to see him. I want to talk to him. My daughter came to me, the baby, and she said, "Mommy, do you realize we're still alive?"
Wow.
But this was like a month later, maybe almost 2 months.
How old were they at that time?
10 and 14. And so that wound healed, and then my husband lost his son,
Which opened up the wound on
which
that.
opened it back up again. It's just like the scars there again. And he just all of a sudden, so now it's me walking on eggshells to try and protect him. And we had a serious conversation about getting help. And I sought help outside of religion. The spirit part was already intact, but I sought help. So he did go get help. And a lot of times men don't, because you're macho and you feel like I can handle it. But he realized he couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
I think African Americans overall, we don't traditionally seek out help outside.
Right.
We don't go and get counseling. We just, like you said, just hold it in. So I'm not sure if it's because we don't know how, or we feel we don't have the financial resources to do it. But I think it helps a lot. I know it helps a lot because I've had to go outside, get outside counseling. So I think it's important.
I think as a culture, I strongly believe as a culture, it wasn't something that was given to us to do.
Yeah.
We leaned heavily on religion.
Yeah.
And we leaned on each other.
Correct.
Right.
We were never told it's okay. If you went to a counselor, you were crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
that was the
stigma.
stigma. That was the stigma that you were crazy or you needed to be in a mental institution.
I think if you look at it in a practical manner, of course, we all probably believe that God is real and active in our lives, but God has also given us resources here on earth, and it's up to us to take advantage. If you want to take it biblical, you can say, Adam, he was with God, God was with him, but he also taught him how to use resources here on this earth. Right. He taught him how to eat off the land, even when he went back on God. I'm sorry, I'm going biblical, but
no, but you're making a good point.
No, that's a good point. Right. And we are going to come right back and maybe take up Dries on that point. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're still talking about self-preservation, taking care of you, yourself, and you. We'll be right back.
A once in 500 year storm should happen every 500 years, right? Fact is, there have been 26 in the last decade. Allstate is adapting with drones to assess home damage sooner. And if a flying object damages your car, you can snap a photo and get your claim processed in hours, not days. Plus, Allstate can pay your claim in minutes. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Yo.
I'm sorry.
I'm a trainer to the stars, personal trainer, and I can help you out too on a personal level. It's no problem at all, you know what I mean? Hey, we working out together, fellas? The three of us?
Look who here.
What's up? What's up, Doc? I want to get on next, man. I want to work in.
Let's get it, big
Kobe was in here last week, killing it, man, beasting. He had all his rings on, and that was like another 25
Come on, Doc.
You have something to do, man.
No matter where they are, the restless imagine being somewhere else. And when they get there, they do things most people can only imagine. That's why we made the all-new Jeep Cherokee with its exclusive Select Terrain system for class-leading capability for wherever you find yourself.
Welcome back to Our Point of View. We're sitting here kicking it. We're talking to Dr. Williams. And before we went to break, I was making a point. I was saying that we, being physical beings, I know we talked earlier, Dr. Williams, about being spirit, soul, and body. I believe that we are spirit beings. We possess a soul, and it's harvested in this body. And in order for us to comprehend the provision that God gives us, you know, I'm extremely spiritual. So in order for us to comprehend the blessings that God has given us, He communicates through us through our spirit. But we still have to exist here on this physical world. So God gives us provision, but we have to use them in the physical realm instead of always relying in the spirit. He gives us things to take advantage of here in the physical realm. So that's my view. I don't know if y'all feel the same way.
Amen. I agree. We have to, a lot of
totally.
times, and I think that what we were saying, back to the point where we were saying that we were almost hypnotized into believing that if you went to talk to a counselor, you were crazy.
No.
And then we grew up, most of us grew up in an era where mommy said, well, go on in this house, stay in this house, so you don't go and tell nobody.
Right.
And then you were careful about the people who you did go and tell because you didn't want to get in trouble, or you didn't want it to get out, because you were sharing your personal things with another individual. I know for me as myself, I kept what I went through with my husband and everything, I kept it to myself for a whole year and a half. Nobody knew. And I was that's why I talked about that mask that I had on. I had on that mask because everybody, you know what I mean? You're Shahid Emmanuel's wife. You know what I mean? You got a beautiful family. Y'all represent this and you represent that. And so all I could think of was the image that I needed to uphold. You know what I mean? And so while I was continuously losing the weight, and people would say, what's going on? You lose, girl, I'm in the gym. I got this fierce trainer. I know he's working me out. I got to go shop. You know what I mean? But this is constantly covering up because you don't want nobody to know. And I have 3 very close friends. None of them know. A year and a half, we tell each other everything. And for a whole year and a half, none of them knew. And what was crazy was my very dear friend who I was friends with since we were 10 years old, she and I were going through the same exact thing at the same exact time, and neither one of us told each other.
And
it was
each of us
just
could
too
have been
much.
so support system for each other.
And usually we support each other on everything. We've been together for everything. But I guess, like we said, it was so detrimental, it was so painful that you just didn't want, who am I going to tell this craziness to? They're going to think I'm crazy. And she was thinking the same thing. And so we weren't thinking about preserving ourselves. We didn't care. We was going through this craziness and we needed to get through it the best way we could, and that was in suffering and silence.
And it's another thing too. It's I guess I don't know, innate. And I'm gonna say this for African Americans: we don't want to appear vulnerable. You know, we tend to want to exude and show strength, but a lot of times it's okay to be vulnerable. Okay,
Right.
even to those close to those ones that are close to you. And I think if you're going to tell us too that you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable,
You do.
because what we we end up wearing a mask. We end up not talking. We end up containing
because you're
it.
scared. I mean,
Right.
it's
You're
a
right,
certain level of fear
right. It's
behind,
fear
you
that's
know,
involved. Right.
people
Exactly.
seeing you beyond the exterior and knowing
It's-
who you are, because you don't want
Yeah.
everybody to see that. You know,
No,
if
no.
you like, for me, if you in leadership in the church, you know that's the first place you don't want nobody to know what's going on in your life. You know what I mean? Because we're
Right.
wearing this mask. We got to keep it covered because everybody see you, everybody know you. You know what I mean?
You have
Who
this
wanna-
appearance of perfection,
Right.
which really doesn't exist.
that don't exist.
But
You know what I mean?
here's the thing: perfect don't look good when you're dead.
Right.
True.
I heard a
Right.
very intelligent person say one time. He said, "When you're in a state of dis-ease, if you don't take care of that dis-easement, it's going to birth disease.
Right.
That's what happens. Like we talk about self-preservation. Your body can literally birth disease if you're in a state of stress. If you got a lot of things going on in your, I don't know what the medical term is for things like that, but you can literally like you can literally birth that stuff into existence. If you're going through a situation and you just completely, continuously holding it inside and not really talking to anybody about it, that can literally cause a ground of stress, and you can. I don't know the medical term.
It's a lot of health conditions.
Yeah, well,
that
yeah.
manifests itself when you don't self-preserve. We're
Right.
talking about mind, body, and spirit together, but when you try and separate it. And when I said I went from a size 10 to a size 4, that was not taking care of my body. That was not taking care of my body at all. So,
And we are grateful for your information. We want to get some contact information to those of you, those who are viewing you right now. So do you have some social media information, your Facebook, Instagram, any of that we can give to our audience in case anybody wants to reach out to you and get some of this good old Dr. Shirley
you sure can.
information?
You sure can. Dr. Shirley MacArthur Williams, one word, on Facebook, and Dr. Shirley MacArthur Williams on Instagram. And LinkedIn, I'm Dr. Shirley MacArthur Williams. Twitter is Dr. Shirley MacArthur Williams.
Oh,
Very good. Dr. Shirley.
There we have it. All you got to do is Google Dr. Shirley MacArthur Williams, and you're going to be straight.
And you're going to find her picture.
One way or
We are
another.
excited. We celebrate you. We thank you so much. It has been great information, and we so appreciate you taking the time out to come share with us today. We love you very, very much, and thank you everybody for your questions and concerns and just putting ourselves out here. And we hope that you enjoyed us, and we hope that you will go and check us out once again, Our Point of View talk show, and we are here just when you press that button. We are here when you need us. Everyone, we thank you so very, very much. We ask that you share, go on our Facebook page, Instagram. What else we got? Email. What else we got? All that stuff we got. We want you to go and check us out. Just Google Our Point of View, OPOV talk show. Our producer said you got to put talk show on it, and when you go to YouTube, you have to put talk show. But we want you to understand and always remember that everything you heard, okay, and everything we say is our point of view. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.